Hello and welcome to We Never Met, the podcast where I have a new guest that I've never met before on every single week. This week we have Libby.
Hi.
What is your last name?
Olbrantz.
Olbrantz. Okay. And you are known for the bus art project, which is something that was really interesting to me. But before we even get into that, did you grow up here in Milwaukee? Are you from here?
Yeah, actually, I was born at St. Joseph's. I grew up on the north side, right in Sherman Park. I went to Townsend Elementary, Morse Middle School, and then my family moved, actually. So I went to high school up near Sheboygan and Howard's Grove.
How'd you like living in Sheboygan? Sheboygan has mixed reviews.
It was a culture shock, actually, because growing up in, like, the inner city, it's so diverse and, like, culturally immersive, and then going to, like, the boondocks.
Is it kind of like that up there?
Yeah, well, I mean, where I live, there's literally 10 houses. I live next to, my mom lives next to a farmer's field.
Oh, geez, so it really is like that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've made it up to Sheboygan really ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not terrible. It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
There's, like, a really strong art community there. That's what I loved about it when I was there this last time.
Yeah. Is that kind of what made you pursue doing this art project? Did you grow up in, like, an artistic household? Were you artistic?
Definitely. My dad was a musician, a writer, a photographer.
Did everything.
Yeah.
Dabbled in everything.
He would take us on, like, little mini road trips. I mean, my family wasn't rich or anything. We grew up, like, very lower income. Yeah. So, like, our road trips would be to, like, lacrosse.
Yeah.
Or it would be, like, a present would be, like, we're going to see Bradford Beach today.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool, though. There's a lot of cool stuff in Wisconsin to go see, you know? So, yeah, you would go to different places around Wisconsin. Is there, like, a specific part of Wisconsin that you really like from, like, traveling around kind of and seeing it?
Well, my grandpa used to have a cottage, actually, up north that we would go to in the summer.
Oh, where at?
And that was near Elko.
Okay.
I think it was called, like, Turtle High Banks up there.
Okay.
And it was just like a escape almost, I guess. Like, where you
Is it pretty far up north?
I don't know. Like, I was like 5 years old when it happened because he died when I was like 6 or 7. So I only got to go up there like twice. But it was just really beautiful because I remember my dad would be on the dock and he'd be like fishing.
Very calming.
And I'd like I'd see like these see-through like fish that I'd never seen before, and I'd be like trying to reach in the water, and my dad would be like laughing at me. He's like, "You're not gonna catch them."
Watch me.
And I'm like, "No, I'm totally going to. Watch me do it."
Yeah. So is your dad like a musician in any bands that people would know or anything, or was he? What did he play? What instruments?
He played guitar.
Okay.
He has a lot of, actually, well, he died when I was 19.
Okay.
But there's still like a lot of guitars in my house. And like we have like the 12-string, like a couple electrics. Like my mom gave me his acoustic it has like the red, white, and blue flag on it from like the 70s, and I'm like, yes, I have to have that one. That's mine. Thank you.
Did you ever try to play? Like, have you tried music at all?
Yeah, actually, he gave me, for my 16th birthday, he gave me an acoustic guitar.
Oh, cool.
And then his present to me was to teach me how to play it. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So can you play pretty well, or?
No. The basic chords that he taught me, I guess I never, like, stuck to music, but I bought a couple ukuleles while I was traveling, and I love ukulele. Yeah.
It's a lot easier to play than guitar.
Yeah. So I always, if somebody has like a ukulele, I always like play Amy Winehouse. They're like, holy crap, you're so good. I'm like, yeah, that's all I know though.
That's my one hit.
Yeah, that's my one. I guess. Here you go. Like,
thank you. Yeah, because I have a ukulele too. I play it all the time, and I have a guitar over there that I never have touched. It's so much harder to play guitar than it is ukulele. There's 2 less strings, so it makes it easier.
Is yours acoustic or electric?
Yeah, acoustic.
Yeah, acoustic's harder, I find, because like the string, like they're so far off the fret. Like with the electric, it's closer to the fretboard.
Yeah, because my grandpa is similar, where he used to play a ton of stuff and like write music and all this stuff, and he had 2 guitars, and when he died, he gave them to me. So I have like an electric, like a really nice electric Fender guitar, and then an acoustic guitar too, but I've never learned how to play.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
The bar cart, like The bar chords are the hardest.
Yeah.
Like
just
like getting into the B's, I was like, oh my god, I want to my hands.
My hands
like, I have
aren't
to, like
long
this,
enough.
and then I'm like, how do I get my pinky all the way over there?
Yeah. And then the strings are so tough to like. For me, like it hurts your fingers after a while.
Yeah, you really have to callus them up.
Yeah.
And you have to have short nails. I love growing my nails out. So whenever I pick up the guitar, I'm like, oh shoot, I have to cut out my nails again.
Yeah. So with your family growing up there, did they kind of push you to? Because the bus art project, we can get into that. Is you kind of put installations in where there are bus stops. Mm-hmm. So from a young age, were you kind of like, since your dad was kind of more into the arts and creative, were you immersed in that too? Were you like painting at a young age? Were you like doing kind of that kind of thing?
Yeah, I was always drawing when I was younger, actually. And then my parents just always instilled it in me. I think like my dad gave me cameras, like his used cameras to like take photos. I was drawing, and then I remember for my 9th birthday, he gave me a journal. And then from like 9 years old, then I got into writing.
Sure.
So like I just never...
You kind of went through the cycle of a little bit of everything.
I've just never gave up on writing either. Like actually my degree is in journalism and English minor, so my background, I guess, is in writing, but it's also in art because I've never stopped drawing either. Well, actually, that's a lie. I did stop drawing because I got really insecure about drawing.
What do you mean? How so? Like showing people your work?
Yeah. I dropped out of the art scene for a long time because sometimes it's like hard to like put yourself out there all the time.
Sure.
And like other creative people sometimes don't want you in that creative realm, it feels like. I don't know, there's like this weird insecurity in other people, I think, that if somebody else is creative, it somehow takes away from somebody else's creativity.
Which is weird, which is a weird dynamic. And I also think it's, with like art and things like that, it's 10 times harder because it's like personal to you. So like the critiques and like things like that feel a little bit harsher when it's something that's like so close to you. It's not like you're just drawing like a squirrel or something. You know what I mean? It's like something that means something to you.
Yeah, that's how I am with drawing now. Like I pretty much like stop drawing.
Yeah.
Like I can like sketch sometimes, but it's just like it makes me so anxious because I think like showing people like what I actually have inside of me is just like really scares me.
Sure.
Because it's like you're revealing your entire soul, like what's inside of you, and like for other people to judge you, and it's like, oh man, that's terrifying.
Yeah, take a look at this picture. What do you think?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, man, collage is so. Now I do like collage. Actually, I've been collaging since I was like 16, and I just got back into it like 4 years ago. And
what does that entail? So like, what is like a collage? Like you take stuff from just all different forms of media and put it together?
Yeah. So I'll go through magazines and just like intuitively whatever I'm drawn to, just like cut it out and then put it all together on a piece of paper or canvas.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you like show those to people? Is that like something, or like you keep it to yourself?
It's intimidating to like show a collage because it's like, well, that's not true too. Sorry. I'm like thinking about it and I'm like, actually I do get like insecure.
Like
Let me go back on that. I've had a couple pieces in some like magazines or like zines that people have done. Like my friend Christian, he started his own zine and he just asked me to like submit some art, so I just gave it to him.
Cool.
I was like, sure, here you go.
Yeah.
I had an artist feature in Collage magazine actually last summer. That was pretty
very
cool. It made me feel like really proud because I was like, hell yeah, the Collage people are recognizing me. Yeah,
that's really cool. So like, what are the size of these collages? Do they vary?
Yeah, sometimes they'll be maybe like 4 by 4 inches, or sometimes I'll do like a really tiny one. Like I have this little Polaroid stamper that I'll like put on paper and I'll like collage like a 1 inch by 1 inch.
Oh, cool. And that's gotta be hard doing it that small.
I think like I'm always kind of like doing things like small.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like when a canvas is too big, it just really
overwhelms.
Yeah, because I don't know what to do with all this space.
There's a lot of space.
Which is funny because the bus project is like fill up this entire space, and I'm like, hell yeah, let me fill up this space with other people's artwork. But then it's like when I'm like asked to fill it with my own artwork, I'm like, oh god, I'm terrified.
Yeah. So you said you started the bus art project in Sheboygan, right? Yeah. With bus stops specifically up there, or where were they in a different place?
No, so in Sheboygan we put them inside of the buses, like the artwork.
How did that work? Like just kind of.
So we made like little posters. I can't remember what size they were. Like what's it's like a 11 by 18 or something, or I don't know what the normal size is for like a poster, but I approached like a Sheboygan visual artist. I said the bus company is willing to give me like this free space with art, or to put art up if you guys want to put art in. They're like, actually, because they said as long as I paid for the printing, they would just give me the space.
Oh, cool.
And so I went to the Sheboygan visual artist and I said, hey, the bus company is willing to give us this space.
Yeah.
And they said they would actually cover the cost of the printing, because it only was like $40 to print all the posters.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So it wasn't like a huge amount of money.
Yeah.
And they said as long as I used their artist, then it was fine.
Cool. And like, how do you pick the artists? Like, how do you pick people? Is it just people you know or people you've seen, like, around?
Well, in Sheboygan, it was just whoever applied to the call that was a part of Sheboygan Visual Artists, since they're paying for it. But in Milwaukee, since I haven't like seriously lived here since I was like 12, I don't have like a huge network to fall back on down here yet. But I just asked people I knew down here. I was like, hey, I really like your art, and the bus company is giving me permission to like do this project. I think it'd be cool to see your art. Like it had just been like people I'd met around, like Charity. Actually, I met her at this what was it, Pancakes and Booze show when I first moved here, like 2 years ago, June.
Sure.
And I just loved her illustrations. I was like, oh my God, you're so cool.
I'll put you up. I'll get you.
Yeah. I like messaged her and I was like, hey, I love your artwork. Like it was like super dope on a bus shelter, and she was totally all about it.
Are most people excited? I would assume, right?
Yeah. I haven't had like any artists that are like, no, that sucks.
I will not do that.
Yeah.
I'll not put
everybody's super excited about it.
Yeah. So originally when you started it, what in your mind was like, let's put art here. Let's put art here. Because it's such a specific spot. You know what I mean? Yeah. I wouldn't be on a bus and be like, put art here.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, okay, so in Sheboygan, we had like dabbled with the idea of putting it on the shelters, but we weren't sure like how we were going to do it. And so they gave us the space inside of the bus to like test it out. But then when I came down to Milwaukee and I approached MCTS about it, it was actually Brendan Conway, who was the lead marketing coordinator there at the time. He said, like, it's cool that you were doing this in Sheboygan like that, but it would actually be cooler like here, like to get more like to see it more and more visual space like on the shelters. He's like, I'd like to see it on the shelters. And I was like, hell yeah, if you're going to give me the space, I want to make it happen.
Yeah. How did like in your mind, like your thought process originally, like before it even began, what made you think you wanted to do it in a bus or on a bus shelter? Like, where did that come from? Because it just seems like an idea that a lot of people wouldn't think of, which is why a lot of people haven't done it, I'm assuming.
I don't know. I think that's how my brain works. It's just like taking one thing that doesn't seem like it belongs with another and molding it together. Do
you have any other like ideas that were kind of similar like that? Like I feel like
a lot. I don't know if I've done anything with them.
Let me get my notebook out. Let me see.
Probably in a journal when I was like 12.
Yeah, because I feel like that's like me walking down the street and like seeing the CVS here outside and being like, I'm gonna put art on that wall. Yeah. But I would never think like that, which is like it's cool. It's like a really creative, out of the blue idea. Yeah. You know.
Well, the idea stemmed, like, I was in Sheboygan, and I was bored, so I was just, like, driving around downtown, which is, like, a 10-block radius, really, so it's like, oh, man.
Doing a lot of loops.
Yeah. So I'm just, like, driving around constantly. Yeah. No, but I got stuck behind this bus, and I was just like, man, it's so boring. Like, it needs art on the back of this bus.
Needs something.
I was like, it's just, like, this big white ass in my face. So I was like, I need art on this. Yeah. And so I reached out to the ad company because it said advertise here, and I was like, hey, how much would it cost to like put art in this space? Yeah. And they said it's $1,000 a month, and I was like, holy crap, nobody has that kind of money like starting out. And I was like, okay, thank you. And so I just was like, well, I'm gonna figure out a way to get art.
Yeah. If they're saying $1,000, I'll do it for less. And I'll get on there.
Now I have to figure out a way around this. Like, whenever there's, like, a block, I'm like, okay, well, how can I go around this?
How can I cheat the system? I don't want to pay $1,000, but I want something. I need something on there.
So I went straight to the bus company and I was like, hey, like, I really want to put art on your bus. Like, how can I make this happen?
Yeah.
And he said, like, we have the space above, like, where they have the advertisements in the bus. Like, you can have, you could put, like, some artwork up there. Like, if you pay for the printing, you can have the space for free. Yeah. And I was like, hell yeah, if you're going to give me the space for free.
That's a lot better offer than I got originally, $1,000.
I was like, 1,000 versus free. I would have, like, I'm going to take it.
Yeah. So do you have a favorite piece here? Like, that it's in Milwaukee here? Because there's, how many are there now?
So
like,
good.
There's
10, I believe,
10?
now. There's either 9 or 10.
Yeah.
So, okay, Gloria Ruiz Santos.
What is hers
so freaking cool in Walker's Point.
Oh,
and the reason why...
It's more of like is it kind of like a Mexican, is that a different one?
The serape.
Yeah.
And the reason why I love her piece so much is because when the sun hits it from behind, it just looks like a rainbow of diamonds. Just like sparkling. And I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah, because isn't that one that got stolen?
Yeah, that's the one that actually...
Did you guys get it back?
Yeah, we did get it back, but it was
in
shambles.
It off of a bus stop? Like, what was the... Did you find the person that did it?
I never personally found him. I never heard if he got found, actually.
Oh, really?
So I don't know
you just
what
found
happened.
The piece?
But we got the piece back, I think, like, because his image was out there so much, because it was the bus cameras that caught him doing it, and then he got onto the bus with it. So I don't know what that was
crime.
about. Yeah,
I'm gonna steal from the bus and then get on the bus.
I'm gonna steal from you and then use you to get home with the stolen property.
So yeah, but that's crazy. That seems like a weird crime. It's like you're gonna put on your wall at home. Like, it's a big piece. Like, actually, what are you gonna do with it?
I told her when it first happened, I was like, honestly, I bet this is in somebody's, like, living room.
That's what I'm saying.
I think this is, like, a huge compliment that somebody was like, shit, this is so cool that I need this in my living room immediately. Yeah. I'm just going to rip it down and, like, take it. I was like, really? This is, like, the highest compliment.
Yeah. So working with these artists, I know you mentioned one of them. What is the general process with you reach out to them, say, hey... well, also, how do you pick out the stops specifically? Is it just kind of random, or? Well,
since we were first starting, the bus company suggested, like, just start in neighborhoods that are already, like, more artistic.
Sure.
And so
that makes sense.
Just to, like, test it, like a pilot run.
Sure.
He's like, okay. So Brendan said, like, check out River West and Bayview.
Yep.
And Gloria was adamant about Walker's Point, which I'm glad we did, because it's her neighborhood. And, like, that neighborhood is completely, like, really artistic as well.
Yeah.
And... so, like, we started in those 3 neighborhoods, and it just had, like, such positive reviews that now it's like, okay, well, where else can we go? How can we, like, spread this more? And then South Milwaukee actually reached out to us, like, the mayor of South Milwaukee.
Oh, wow.
And he wanted a bus shelter down there, so we had, like, a little contest in South Milwaukee, and we chose they chose a South Milwaukee resident to have that space down there.
Okay. So do you ever talk to the artists afterwards? Like what was their process for, like, because some of them are more interpretive. There's one where it was, is there one on water? There's
Tang and Dominic on water.
What's the one where it's more like, is it like diamond-y kind of?
Oh yeah, that's Tang's.
Yeah. I like that though. It's cool.
Yeah, she is so cool actually. Those patterns are actually patterns that she's creating for her fashion line.
Really?
Yeah. So
she creates clothes or makes...
Yeah, so, she doesn't have the money right now to, like, print the fabric, but it's, they're designs that she has created to print on fabric. So I was like, hell yeah, you gotta put these designs on the shelter.
Yeah. What is her aspiration? How long did you talk to her about that stuff? Like, does she want to make, like, runway kind of stuff? Or is it, like, stuff that you could sell in stores?
I don't know. I told her she should be famous.
And this is the start of it.
Why not saying this is where it begins?
Yeah, exactly. Right, and then everybody will come to that bus stop.
I was like, listen, we gotta have a runway in the middle of the park.
Yeah, get all your clothes, get all the fashion that you can.
Listen, Tang, I got you. I found the runway. I found the models.
Yeah, dang. So I'm sure, like, all these people, they kind of have, like, real aspirations and other things. It's not just specifically art.
Yeah.
Right?
Actually, Libby's piece that you really like in Bayview.
Yeah.
Her aspiration is to be like a comic artist. She really loves comic illustration.
You can kind of tell that by the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was the first artist I actually reached out to because I loved her style so much.
Yeah.
I was like, Libby, I'm doing this.
Where'd you find her? Just on.
She was actually my boss. I used to work at the art museum, and she was my boss there. And I think she hated me in the beginning.
Really?
I like when I first got hired, I was like, the other Libby, and she was like, I was like, oh no, I ruined this relationship already.
It's over now.
But no, I love Libby. I'm like Team Libby.
Now I'm all about it.
Yeah. But yeah, so I reached out to her and I was like, Libby, like, I love your art. Like, it's so cool. You have to put your art on this shelter.
Yeah.
And she was actually really excited about it when I told her about it because she really wants to get her artwork out there.
Yeah, some of these people have like super intense like stories behind like why they like hers. Wasn't she hers about like anxiety and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know that about her actually. Like because the bus company they'll ask the artist some questions too, like to put on the website.
Yeah.
And when she responded, or I asked questions too. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
But she responded with that, and I was like, dang, I didn't know. Like, I guess like that's another part of like the creative world is we don't know what anyone's going through at the time.
Sure.
Because I think like creativity comes from like an emotional place sometimes.
Yeah.
And so we never know what anyone else is dealing with, and then to like find that out, it's like, oh shoot, like, okay, like makes you like rethink, like, well, I want to like look at like what does their art mean now, or like, like it creates like this extra layer.
Yeah, and I think with a lot of them too, it's just a cool experience to be able to like turn things that normally are just regular things like a bus stop into like a piece of art. You know, it's just a cool concept, and be able to like display that, you know, on that big of a scale. So do you like outside of the bus art project, what do you do?
Actually, I'm writing my book. No, I've been like kind of like quiet about it, but I've been telling people for a long time that I really wanted to write this book about my life, and I just have like a lot of crazy experiences, I guess, that I just need to get out of me on paper. Yeah,
because you said you know consistently write. So how long have you been consistently writing for? Like since
I was 9, since I got that journal.
Like no, you're good. Like every day you write?
Not every day, but I do write a lot. Like I always have my phone on me so I can like open the notepad and write something, or I'll post a photo on Instagram and I'll like write like this little story with it.
Yeah.
And I wrote a blog. I had a blog for a while.
Yeah.
Everybody has a blog. I feel like though, so that's not like a.
Well, I don't have a blog, so yeah.
This could be your time.
I go and start one once you leave. Sam's blog.blogspot.com.
This is my blog.
Yeah. What was your blog about? Like, what did you write on your blog?
It was just like crazy stories because I traveled a lot for a while.
Sure.
And so it's just
around
like crazy.
the United States or internationally too?
Internationally.
Okay.
Like I taught English in Brazil for a couple of months.
Oh, that's cool.
And so I was like down there, and like a lot of crazy things happened while I was down there. So I'd like write stories about it.
Like what crazy things? Like bad crazy?
No. Oh, they were like super fun. Like one of them was just like this pool party I went to, and like how crazy it was, because it's just like, okay, well, 1 minute I'm in the water, and the next minute I'm like dancing at this other stage.
Yeah, I heard Brazil's kind of like that. Like, is it like a party place kind of? Where were you in Brazil specifically? Like, what city did you teach in?
I was in Aracaju. That's in the state of Sergipe in the northeast.
Okay.
It's like the smallest state in Brazil.
Oh, okay.
But I lived with this really awesome family. They were so welcoming. They remind me actually of my own family here. So it was just like being at home. And then I became friends with like all my students and the other teachers. And
what age level were you teaching?
It's like 18 to 24, so like college level.
Oh, wow.
But it's called, actually it was a program I did through UW Milwaukee. Oh. And that was ISIC. You can do like within a year out of college, you can go on an international project.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So other than Brazil, what other places have you gone?
Actually, I went a lot. I did my last semester in London.
Oh,
so
cool.
I lived there for 4 months.
Yeah.
So part of that trip was we did like an educational tour around the EU for 2.5 weeks. So we were in like Germany, France, Belgium, Luxembourg.
Wow, you saw a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool because you get to like see actually like the history and like the historical places and like all the government buildings and like talk to like people that are like from the culture and about this space. And
yeah. So from all the places that you have gone, what has been your favorite?
Brazil.
Because of the
Brazil's
people or
amazing.
because of the just environment that you're in?
Yeah, it's like the energy of the country is just so amazing. I mean, I'm sad right now because of what's happening like politically. Like their president is like really intense.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of scared because I love Brazil so much. So I'm like, Brazil, please.
Yeah, figure it out.
I love you so much.
Yeah.
But there is a park actually that I came across accidentally in Rio de Janeiro.
Okay.
And it's called Parque Lage. And I thought it was the botanical garden.
Oh, really?
Like, I was...
Because it was so lush and, like, a lot of plants and stuff?
Well, I'd been going to the beach a lot with people, and, like, my skin was so fried. I was like, I have this Nordic Wisconsin skin.
I have that problem,
I was
too.
like, I have to go be in, like, some green space now.
I would go wear a turtleneck and, like, get in the shade.
I'm like, I'd love to go to the beach with you guys, but right now my skin...
I can't. It's literally going to fall off.
So I went to... I thought I was going to the botanical garden, and I saw this sign that said Jardim Botanico.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that the whole neighborhood is called Jardim Botanico.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, shit, I'm going to miss my stop. And so I, like, clicked the
thing to get off the bus.
On the bus stop, or the bus, and then I got off, and I was like, dang, this botanical garden is banging. And like, there's, like, ferns everywhere, like, these huge trees. And I'm like, man, this is wild.
Wow, this is huge.
And I'm like walking through it, and I'm like, man, this place is incredible.
Yeah.
And I just like walk up, and there's like this huge, I don't know any way to describe it except like a mansion, like a roofless mansion, like in the middle of this park.
Okay.
And I'm like, this is so random. What is this place?
Yeah.
Where am I? And like I walk up, and like you like go up all these stairs, and you like enter through this huge doorway, and then there's just like a giant pool in the middle of it, and it's like, what the hell? Is this a museum? Or where am I?
Am I allowed to go in there? Yeah.
And like there's no roof, so like
you
just look up, and there's like the Cristo on the hill, like the Corcovado.
Yeah.
And I just started like walking around the pool, and I'm like, what the heck is this? There's like people painting around the pool. There's like a coffee shop in back. I'm like, I think this is an art museum maybe or something. I don't know.
Yeah.